Certainly is hot. Yeah, they're certainly working, getting the air to flow through that beehive, pulling the air in and out with their little wings, like a little air conditioner. Really, really hot. It's 32, but the message I got was it feels more like it's 37 because we have about 85% humidity at the moment. So it's really warm and really humid. That's Celsius, by the way, not Fahrenheit. I can't remember how to convert it, but I'm sure I'll be able to find it, let you know. Lovely 32 degrees today. Bees are all up and out, and if you look there closely, you should be able to see them fanning and pulling air in and out of the hive. Might just zoom in a little, hopefully they don't bite me, sting me. Working like mad to try and cool this hive down. I am getting buzzed, so I might move away. Alright, I'm going to pause this, I'll be back in just a sec. 2 seconds for you, quite a bit of time for me. You can probably see the natives there in their entrance. They're quite hot too. They're flapping their little wings, it's a bit hard to see, but I'll get a close-up of one of the other hives for you in just a sec. Alrighty. So, with the clear tube, you might be able to see some of the girls in there are actually flapping their wings. Might be a little hard to see, a little bit blurry. I'll see if I can zoom in. So you should be able to see their little wings flapping. So they're pulling air in and out of the hive to cool it. So native bees do the same as honeybees. Oh, there's one there with some rubbish she's taken out, looks like a cocoon, it's gone. I put the clear tubes on because we had an attack of forward fly, and there was a suggestion on Facebook and a couple of other places. If you put clear tube on the hive, the forward flies get confused, whereas the bees get used to it pretty quick, and the flies don't know how to work out how to get through the clear tube. And because it's a long entrance, it makes it hard for them to get in. They're flapping their wings like mad, like little air conditioners. Right, let's zoom back out a bit and we'll go around to the other hive here. Got the other two here. There's quite a few girls in the bottom one and the top one. The top one's a little bit busier. So if I can zoom in here. A couple of girls there flapping their wings, trying to cool the hive. flapping their wings like mad. I'll go up to this one up here. See them coming and going. I'll go over to my other hive. Give me a second. Just pause this for a tick. Now you might remember I had this hive, which was an eduction hive on my carbonarias. Now the wax pretty much melted in this eduction. Gone all dark. So come around this side a little, tip this over. So it was still functioning, but it's just all starting to melt, and the stores weren't good in there. And this eduction's been on for nearly, well, a bit silly, but it's been on for nearly 2 years. So I'll take you over to the hive, and I've done a little modification. Here we go. So for starters, I'll show you the outside. Basically it's a complete box. You can see the bees there at the front going in and out. There's a little bit of propolis on the outside for them. Now what I've actually done is the bottom section they can use, I've put a clear piece in here between the next two sections. When this starts filling up, I'll remove this and move it up. So what I'll do is I'll open this up for you to have a look, and you can see what they're doing. And obviously not much is in there, but they've only just started on this today. I've only had it on there for a couple of hours. So I'll just open it up if you just give me a second. So as you can see in there, there's not much in there. The bit of the structure I put in. The bees are flying around like mad, but they can get into their tube, which goes back into the hive, into the log, and it keeps them in there. And then, like I said, once this fills up, I will release this piece of plastic, which you have here, a bit of film. Once that comes off, they'll be able to go into the next section. So I just put bits of propolis in there, and they're already starting to work on that wax and propolis, even there near the entrance. So they'll turn that into an entrance tube, and they'll probably do that at the back as well. So once they got all that sorted, we'll open up the other section for them. So I'll just pause this again for a sec. So yeah, so this is the other section. So I don't know if you can see in there, it's a bit dark, but I'll just put some of the propolis and wax here and here, and there's bits up here and in the corners. So you know, they'll build all this in here first, like I said, and I'll take the plastic cover off, and then we'll let them get into this. Although by putting that there, they've already jumped on, so I'll have to move them out before I put this lid back on. Alright, just give us a sec, I'll get them out and we'll sort this out. So this is the upper section. I'll just take this clear section, this plastic bit off. So as you can see, the bees are in there underneath the plastic, doing their bee thing. They're also attracted to the light, so that's why they're all up here at the moment. That's the thing, they don't like the light, they see a little off, so I wouldn't be surprised at all if that plastic ends up covered in all sorts of propolis at some point. But you know, they're on the inside there, so it's all good. So what I'll do now is I'll close all this up, put all this back together, and we will continue in just a second. So they're a little bit busy. These are carbonaria, they're a little bit different to my Hocking's eye. They're actually slightly smaller, and they tend not to bite anywhere near as much as the Hocking's eye do. Now, you might or may not be able to see, there's the tube that goes between the main hive and this. So what it does is the bees come out of the log through this hive, and then they use this hive for a bit of storage, and then hopefully they'll start building honey pots, pollen pots, like they did before. But then also, hopefully, they will also send a princess out who will hopefully mate and come back, and then she'll lay eggs in there. When that happens, I'll actually disconnect this hive, and I'll have the two separated. I may end up changing that tube and putting a T-piece in. A lot of people do that as well, but I'll have to wait and see if they get any brood first. So there's a couple of bees there. So yeah, it's just settled down a little now. Oh, there goes another one in. Sorry about the dog next door, always loves barking at me. So yeah, there's a few more bees. So yeah, all that wax and propolis of the other old hive I will probably take out and melt down. Just a sec and I'll pause this. So back to my little busy hive. I'll see if we can zoom in again. Sorry about the focusing. And there's one there taking some rubbish out. So they're cool little critters. I like these little ones. They don't produce anywhere near the honey of the honeybee. However, you know, I don't really have them for collecting honey anyway. I actually only have them because I enjoy the bees and they're natives, and because they don't sting. It's good for my daughter because she doesn't like getting stung, obviously. Yeah, I just think they're fascinating little creatures. Anyway, I'll take you back over to that other one and we'll have a look at that structure, since there's no bees in it. Now, I think what's actually happened is, because of the heat, you know, we're like 32 plus, 35 plus degree days, so a lot of this is actually melted. So that structure is normally all spindly. See that bit down there and those bits? That's what it normally looks like. So I'm half thinking that most of this is actually melted. Plus I did have pollen pots and stuff in there and they've all just turned to mush. I'm just hoping that the main hive itself in the log is still viable and they will actually fill that other hive up with structure, and then eventually obviously propolis and honey pots and pollen pots and maybe some brood, and I can have a new carbonaria hive. I only have the one carbonaria hive. I have 4 of the Hockings hive, and I've given one to my mum. So, and one of them I have marked for a friend of mine. We're just working out a date and a time when I can drop them off. And yeah, anyway, we'll see how we go. So it's just a little bit different. So I thought I'd just show you what's in there of an eduction that didn't work. Sometimes these things don't work. Sometimes they do. I've just not been lucky enough this time. But anyway, it's still pretty cool structure. There's one in there just floating around still. So I'm going to leave this open. They can raid it, and I will dig all this out and possibly melt it down, or I might just dig it out and I might just give it back to them. I might be able to separate it. I could probably put it in a solar wax melter and just get the wax separated from the propolis, and then I can give them the wax itself back, because the wax is pretty good for them, obviously. Great building structure, plus if they have wax, well, it saves them making wax. So yeah, anyway, cool, thanks for watching. It's only a short video today, but I just thought I'd give you just something a little bit different. So yeah, enjoy, have a great time, and we'll catch up with you next time. Bye for now.